Well, I'm delighted to say that today I get the chance to talk to Ros Woodcock. And some of you will have known Ros for years, and some of you won't know Ros at all. So, Ros, would you like to start just by briefly introducing yourself?
My name is Ros Woodcock. I've been married to Alan for 45 years. I have two stepsons and four grandchildren between the ages of about 18 and 23.
Fantastic. It would be great to hear how you first became a Christian, Ros.
I was brought up in a Baptist church, but there was no concept of knowing Jesus personally or anything to do with the Holy Spirit. So it was a dead religion, really. And when I married straight out of university, we tried going to an Anglican church because my first husband was an Anglican, but nobody was interested in us there, so we didn't bother to go anymore. And sadly, at that point, God let me go for 15 years. I thought I was blissfully happy in my first marriage. I adored my husband and I thought he loved me too, but he left me after 3 years and I was absolutely devastated and heartbroken. 3 years I spent looking for love in horrible places and with not very nice people. But then I met Alan in 74 and married him in 75. He had two boys who were aged 9 and 7 when they came to live with us. There were huge difficulties in bringing up somebody else's children. And Alan wasn't there a lot of the time because he was a policeman and he was working shifts. We moved to Sale to be near his parents, but I knew nobody, so I was very lonely. Walking past the old Baptist church, which was on the site of our now Life Church, I began to think the people I knew in the Baptist church all those years ago were really nice people. Perhaps I'll find some friends in there. So on Easter Sunday 1982, I came for the first time after having received a leaflet from you saying, share our Easter joy. I came in and I was absolutely bowled over by the warmth and the atmosphere I'd just never experienced before in a church. And so that was the beginning of my relationship with Jesus. First of all with his people, and then about 6 weeks later, I gave my life to him. I asked him into my life.
Absolutely fantastic. What would you say have been some of the key things in you growing as a Christian since then?
First of all, some of the older members of the church will remember Jim and Clarice Royal, who were in their 70s when I got to know them. As it happened, God was in it, I'm quite sure. The house we bought in Sale was one door away from them. They were my next door but one neighbours. And so I got very close to them. I got to know them very well, and they taught me a lot about unassuming background service for God, a faithful faith that they had, and we got very close indeed, and I became like a second daughter to them, and they became second parents to me until they died, aged 92 and 89, I think they were, something like that. So they were very influential in my early life as a Christian. Secondly, I sat under the brilliant Bible teaching of Mike Beaumont for about five years. Again, people from our church who have been with us a long time will remember he was our minister, and he was a brilliant Bible teacher and still is, although he lives elsewhere now. Yeah. And finally, because of my circumstances, being an only Christian in the church, being an only Christian in the family, I learnt to value my church family enormously, both the wider family and my life group, or as the years have gone by, the different midweek groups that I've been in.
One final thing then, Ros.
Yes.
If I was to ask you whether you had a sort of favourite Bible verse, what would that be and why?
That would be Luke 1:37. Right at the beginning of my reading of the Bible, that was the very first words God spoke to me. that jumped off the page at me. For nothing is impossible with God. And it's special to me. I've clung to it all these years because after 38 years, I am still waiting for God to change Alan's heart.
Yeah.
I love him dearly, and he is such a lovely man in so many ways, but he's missing the one thing that he needs.
I'm sure others will join with you in praying. And thanks so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Today, Ros. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.